So I will say the biggest misconception that I've seen is that it's got to be programmatic, it's got to be big, it's got to be complex. It's something that is, oh, this big thing that I got to be part of somebody else doing something, and or I got to start something, I got to start a ministry. What's a 501c3? How do I do all this? This is too much, and you just forget it. I'll tell you, I run a nonprofit. I run a 501c3. We are all over the world doing a lot of different things, and the biggest lesson God has shown me was in the last few months, and I'll rewind of 2018. I went to India to do some ministry, and I was thinking I was going to be doing a lot of work in India. I'm a big soccer guy and football over everywhere else in the world, but I was looking for soccer ministry. I was looking for a soccer jersey in India, and those of you who know India know that soccer is not the big sport in India. Cricket is. Cricket was everywhere. Every big screen TV, it was cricket. There was no other sport anywhere. I got a cricket jersey instead of a soccer jersey from India. So I said, well, if I'm going to be going to India, I better learn the sport cricket. So I watched documentaries. I learned the rules. I watched matches, not full 5-day matches, but the India Premier League, which I learned what that was. It's not soccer, for those of you who are wondering. And so I started watching this stuff. And then I walked down the street with my son to go play soccer at the local park. And what do I see? But 35 Indian men playing cricket, half-mile from my house. That was during COVID. And I thought, well, I guess I'm not going back to India. And I see all these guys from India. I'm like, India has come to Folsom, California, which is where I live. Intel has a campus there. And there's people not just from India, but from all over the world. I know Mission Viejo is also a place that there are people from all over the world. In this room, I see people from all over the world. Right next to me is somebody from a different country, right? So we often overcomplicate things so much. It can be so simple. So what did I do? I didn't start a ministry. I didn't go, oh, we're going to have the cricket ministry in Folsom. Who wants to be a part of this? I better get a church behind it. No, I took my son to the park, and I just stood and watched them play cricket. And they said, it took about an hour for somebody to walk up and start talking with me, which is really hard. If you know me, I'm a talker. I like to talk. I talk a lot. Jen's over here going, yep, you sure are. And it was really hard for me to just be patient and just wait on the Lord to say, this is something I have for you, but just wait. Because if you go in and you think it's your thing and you think that you're going to have to create this big thing, then it won't happen. Just wait for them to come to you. So Suman, after about an hour, came and just started talking with me, and we just had a great conversation. There's no ministry yet, but I know I've just gone back, and I'm just going. And there's this great quote that I love, and I read it, and it's a book called Chop Wood, Carry Water. It's about simple stuff and just doing stuff over and over, doing it really well. We often dream big, and we think we need to start big, but this quote is, dream big, start small, be ridiculously faithful. So I just want to encourage you with that. And again, I'm excited to come back here in a few years and tell you that I've been able to have some of these guys in my home just to have dinner. Because there's a stat that just keeps it's just in me now. I know this stat, and I just want to change it, and I want to encourage you to change it. 80% of refugees have never eaten a meal in an American's home. 80%. That's crazy. And yeah, a lot of the immigrant populations are insular, but it's our job to welcome the stranger. They are in our communities. They are here. How can we welcome them? And sometimes that's going and meeting them where they are because they're playing cricket at the park. And sometimes it's seeing them somewhere and saying, hey, you want to grab coffee? You want to grab a meal? It's not this big, huge program thing. And I think that's the biggest thing. I just want to encourage you with that.
That's great. Wow.